What is going on, everyone? My name is Emmanuel, and this is the Sigma Upsilon Mu podcast. Today, we're joined by Cara Sanchez. She's a theater arts major with a minor in cinema and television arts. Some of her hobbies include playing guitar, writing music, and tap dancing. She's one of the newest members of SUM, and we actually joined together back in fall of 2021, part of the Omicron class. So, with that said, I want to welcome you, Cara, to the podcast. Thank you so much for joining me today. How are you doing today?
Doing good. Just got back from class. But yeah, thanks for having me.
Awesome. Awesome. So let's get right into it. So I know you're a theaters major, and I think the only theaters major so far in some,
Yep.
which is great. Great to see people from different majors. Why theater? Like what made you choose theater?
I got started in theater in high school, and I realized like I had a really big passion for writing and like writing stories and stuff. I also really liked performing. So I thought it was a way to combine them both. And like within theater, it was really interesting starting off just performing and thought that's all I ever wanted to do. But then like going up in high school and college and realizing that like playwriting and directing is much more what I love. And I just love telling stories with people. And I think that's just such a cool concept that we're able to do. And that's a career. And yeah, I just really love to do it.
Nice, nice. So you do a lot of stuff with theater, right? You do, like you said, you wanted to start maybe like a business when you graduate. Is it like what exactly do you want to do with the business, combining business and theater?
Yeah, I think it's really important to combine. Oh, I think it's really important to combine both, because a lot of the things that I want to do in my career involves producing and like producing my own work and maybe even starting a production company one day. So it's definitely those skills of like you're being creative and you're writing and telling stories and all of that good stuff. And then on the flip side, having to actually make it into a career and have people actually be able to look at your work and make more of that a business. Yeah.
Yeah, no, definitely. So I know you're kind of still in your early career, still in college, still trying to figure out exactly what you want to do. But for someone that maybe is in high school or maybe is a little bit earlier in the process than you, do you have any tips for someone wanting to get into like the theater and entertainment industry, something like you've learned so far in your journey?
Yeah. I think sorry. I think trying new things is the most important thing because I think there are so many different things you can do in theater and entertainment industry. You might start out like being like, "Oh, I only want to perform or I only want to write or I only want to do hair and makeup." And like as you go through this experience, you try a lot of things and you just have to be open-minded about it. I would also just to say be fearless. Like it's sometimes I get a lot of stage fright and it's hard to get up on stage and talk to people, but once you do it, you get it done. It's really fun. And also you might find something that you're passionate about. So yeah, that combination of be fearless, try anything, and don't be afraid to look dumb. Me and so many people I've worked with, sometimes you just have to try something. Might look really dumb, you might look really dumb, but then you might see that, oh, maybe it was actually good, or maybe this is a mistake, but we know how to fix it. So, yeah, that's my advice.
Oh, that's super insightful. Yeah, definitely, definitely. I would agree on that. Like trying different things out. You never know like what you're gonna like first of all, and like what you're really gonna be good at, right? So definitely trying different things out is definitely super important when it comes to like actually doing stuff. But I want to kind of touch on the point where you talked about being fearless because I think a lot of people um, kind of have that set them back, like not start that business or not start that whatever they want to start in their life. Just the fear of having fear of for whatever reason, maybe like failing or maybe other people judging them. Um, so what do you do to kind of just overcome that fear and just go for it when it comes to what you're doing right now?
Yeah, I mean, I wish I had a better answer because most of the time when I deal with this, I'm like, ah, screw it, let's just do it, try it, don't think about it. Um, but I think when you're thinking about like taking a risk in your business or in your career, I think about thinking about why you want to do something and letting the why you want to do something be bigger than the fear of actually doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
No, yeah, that's no, I think that's exactly what I, that's exactly what my answer would be. Like if your why is like bigger than
yeah,
your fear, then like you're obviously gonna do it because like you know you want that
yeah,
what you want to achieve that in life, right? So yeah, no, I think that's super important.
yeah.
But no, yeah, that's pretty good. So kind of we touched on your major, what you're doing right now. So like what's one of your biggest goals for this year, for 2022? It can be personal, business, school.
Yeah, I have a lot. One of the biggest goals I'm doing right now is that I'm writing a one act and it's getting produced. So at the end of the semester, there's going to be a showcase where people can come see it, and that's terrifying. But that's just something I'm working on right now. And like even before I hopped on this call before class, like I was working on it earlier today. But yeah, that's been something I've been working on. Last semester, I took a advanced playwriting class where I wrote the first act to a full length play. So by the end of this year, I'd love to actually finish it and get it done. And also just getting internships. I think that's like by the end of this year, I'm going to be a senior. So I think that's just the goal, to get an internship and start making connections there. As far as personal goals, it's just always the goal of getting more sleep. I'm terrible at that. So I think getting enough sleep would be great. And trying not to do too much. I take on a lot of projects, and sometimes it just gets hard to do everything. So I think for more of my personal goals, it's to get more sleep and try not overloading on projects.
Yeah, definitely get more sleep. that that's what I struggle with as well.
Yeah.
At least 7 hours. At least
Yeah,
7 hours.
mhm.
Um,
I,
but
I
yeah, I mean
stay up till
it's
2 in the morning way too often.
yeah, it sounds like you have all these projects that you're doing, that you want to accomplish, which is great, right? But what like what's your biggest like driving factor to do all this stuff? Like why take on so many
It's
projects?
just a
Is it
lot of
just
it's
like
just like, oh, I want to try it and see what happens.
yeah?
Like, this could be fun.
Have you
Like, I
always
even
had
took
this like
on a project. Yeah.
have you always had this drive as a kid growing up, like middle school, high school, or have you like just developed it over time, like just going for it and like just loading a lot on your plate?
Yeah, I mean, kind of. Like, when I was super little, like, I did some theater stuff, like children's theater, and I'd be the type of person who would want to audition for everything and every part. So there's a little bit on the inside, but I was also super shy and like just super insecure growing up. So I was like, oh, I want to do this, but like I'm not good enough, so I'm not gonna. So I think like especially like late high school and college, it's just been a journey for me to be like, you know what? I want to try this thing, even if it doesn't work. As long as like it's a new experience, let's just do it. So I think it was just a whole learning experience of just trying new things.
No, yeah, definitely. um oh, I blinked out there for a second.
I feel that. Yeah.
I'm probably gonna cut this part out, this little segment here.
It's
But
yeah. Ah,
um
keep it in. Make it interesting.
no, yeah, I mean, I don't think I'm gonna keep it in. um Did we talk about the burnout already? Have you experienced burnout? No, no, right?
No, we haven't talked about it.
I wanted to touch upon like, because you know how you said you were, shy growing up and just very insecure, and like me knowing you for these couple of months that we joined some, I feel like you just go for it, and that's what I really like. Like even though
Thanks.
maybe you have like in the back of your mind there's maybe some little limiting beliefs, you just go for it, which that's the key to even like starting, which is super important. um like do you do something to like hype yourself up before like going on and performing, let's say on a play,
Yeah.
or before taking on this project, or just like the mindset before doing something that may scare you a little bit or
Yeah.
make you feel insecure a little bit?
No, my first thought, and it made me laugh because it's also really dumb, but I just make a ton of playlists and like just of hype music. Like either like it's this really like I've told you I've listened to like heavy metal rock music. So like it will be that music or it will be like some techno hype pop music and like I'll play that. Um and also like on a less I don't know if this is a dumb note, but like on a less dumb note, I also really like affirmations. I mean I'm religious, so I think prayer really helps and like that really gets me at peace to do things.
Yeah,
And I think just writing stuff down, like I'm a writer, so it's just what I do anyway. But I think just writing down every like, if I have a negative belief about myself or a negative feeling about myself, like I'll write it down. And then after looking at it and having it out in the world and just not just in my head, like I'll see like, oh, this isn't so bad. Like I can do this.
yeah, no, I mean, no, I think that's super important, just like affirmations, writing things down, um, just gets things out of your head as well. No, but that's
Yeah.
super interesting. um,
And just like a lot of hype up music, so it
yeah,
works.
definitely, definitely. So kind of moving now um, to some, right? um, why did you join some? Like, what was the biggest reason for joining this organization?
Yeah, because it's kind of a weird thing having a theater major join a business fraternity, and like that's a bold choice. Sorry about that. Uh, there. I joined some because I realized that I was studying all these creative things within my major, and that was super helpful. And I know I'm still learning and growing in those aspects. But I realized like I'm gonna graduate soon, and I have no idea how to transfer any of these skills into an actual career. Um, so I was walking down Discoverfest and I saw some, and everyone seemed really nice. It didn't seem like the stereotype of the business majors that I had in my head of like these stuck up, money obsessed people. But getting to know them, it was really nice. And like going into some and doing the pledging process, it was so cool getting to know everybody. Like I met you and like you have your own business, you're very passionate about the stuff you do and you do fitness. And I didn't really have any friends like that. And then you also have like JJ, who's also into fitness, and Sarah, who's really into fashion, and just meeting these different types of people that was really exciting. And I also got to learn business skills, and that's really helped me so far, like just very early in my career right now. But it I wasn't sure about joining some or staying in some because I was thinking, oh, this is so different than anything I've ever
Right.
done. Who wants a theater major in this business fraternity? But I think after staying for a while and doing the workshops, it taught me to, like we were saying before, just try new things, and it ended up working out.
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely, definitely. So, you, like I said, we pretty much went through the whole pledging process back in last semester, fall 2020,
Yeah.
2021. Um, so like, if you would take like maybe one or two things that you really learned from this organization? It can be workshops, networking, and stuff like that. Like, what have you really learned from some, and what are you currently learning right now, being a part of the board?
Yeah. Oh, I've learned a lot. Um, I think the biggest thing that I learned that really surprised me, that a lot of the things I was learning in theater just transferred into business really well. Even if it didn't have to do with anything creative, those skills still kind of blend together. Like in the sales workshop, I had to present my idea and pitch it and everything. And I found that going up and talking to people and talking about my idea, it wasn't like I really enjoyed doing that. And I think just because I have that experience performing and talking in front of other people, that really helped. So yeah, that surprised me how this theater skills and the business skills kind of connected with each other in a way. I also learned a lot of skills about time management, especially being on board and dealing with being a full time student and being in a musical and writing on the side and being part of board. Like, it's a lot. So I think time management has been something I've kind of had to learn the hard way. And also just taking the initiative to organize things, and not even just to organize events, but even have like write down the schedule, something I didn't really do before. Um, and that really helped. But I think the biggest thing I've learned from some is that you can learn things anywhere. It's just we're going on the theme of trying new things, I guess. But I think if you jump into something, it can sometimes be really good for you.
Ah, no, that's true. That's true. Just yeah, because you kind of said it was a little bit out of your comfort zone, being a theater major and just coming in, even though some is open to any major, right?
Yeah.
It can always be, a little intimidating, seeing a bunch of business majors mostly, and
Yeah.
you as a theater major just coming on and, you know, a whole new world like
Yeah.
sales, marketing, website development. But
Yeah, I'll be in my classes and we're talking about Shakespeare or something, and then I go over to some and we're talking about website building and like the best of both worlds, I guess.
yeah, yeah, but I feel like I tell a lot of people like all these like entrepreneurship skills, even though you may not want to necessarily open a business, they can literally be applied to any other job. Like just having that mindset and like I said, some of those skills like they can really translate into you know getting a higher position in your job or something like that, which is
Yeah.
super important. But but yeah, apart from that, another question I wanted to ask you, of course, some is uh, a heavy kind of like I should say this. Some is all about brotherhood, right? So about friendships, networking with all like-minded people. Why is it important for you specifically to network with other like-minded people? What value do you place on that?
Yeah, I mean, it's all about learning how to collaborate with other people and getting to know what your strength and what your weaknesses are, and like learning what their strengths and weaknesses are. And that way you can kind of balance each other out. Like I'm really good on the creative side, and like I can pitch ideas, I can do all that stuff, but I can't do math for the life of me. So now I have friends who can do math. Um, but having that balance and learning from other people and learning, just getting new perspectives that you never thought you were gonna get, like that's just the main takeaway I've had with networking. Yeah, and even the brotherhood aspect of, it's not all about business, but it's also making friendships and getting to know everyone. It's just a really cool experience, and just meeting so many different people. Like I feel like I have really good friends in some now, and like becoming friends with different majors and different people on different life paths that I'm on, and that's been honestly just really fun. I mean, definitely networking is really good in business and in your career and your passions because you get to learn from everybody. But on a more personal level, like it's also really just nice forming a community.
No, yeah, I totally agree on that. And I'm pretty sure you've heard like the closest people that you surround yourself with, it's pretty much who you become, right? And at least for me, that's so important when like just surrounding yourself with those people that at least have goals in life. Because if you surround yourself with wrong people, then you start kind of um, learning the bad habits. But if you surround yourself with like people like some of the people that are in some, then you push yourself to become better, right?
Yeah.
um,
And I think definitely like becoming friends with you and all the other some people, that's definitely pushed me to be better. Like I see all the stuff you guys are doing and I'm here being like, yeah, let's go. You guys got this. And it also inspires me to with the projects that I'm doing to be able to do them with the same passion and the same energy that you guys are all doing your projects with.
yeah, awesome, awesome. So I want to kind of touch upon a quote that you mentioned when we were introducing the board for spring
Oh, yeah.
2022. And this quote is from Eleanor Roosevelt, and it says, "If life were predictable, it would cease to be life and be without flavor," which is super, super interesting.
Yeah.
Can you kind of elaborate on why you love that quote so much?
Yeah. Like I was just for that whole post, I was looking up quotes and I didn't really find any that I connected with until I saw that one. Because I think it's just such a good representation of what my life is like. And I'm sure a bunch of people in some that's what their life is like. But really just going and trying the theme of the interview is just going out trying new things. But even just going out with life with just passion and fearlessness, like unexpected things happen and that like a lot of things have surprised me in my life, like some, and all the people I've met there, all the experiences I've had. And I think if you plan your life with just like, oh, this is like the one thing I'm gonna do, and like I only have no other options, I think you're kind of limiting yourself with what you can do. But when you open yourself up to new possibilities and new experiences, it just makes life really interesting. And I don't know, I just been really lucky to have a lot of really different experiences that even with like the chaos of what life is, there's still great things in that chaos and great things that you can do. But yeah, I it just really stuck with me because it was different than a lot of the other quotes I was reading. A lot of them were like, "Be happy" or "Be confident in yourself." But this one, I think, really represented what at least my life is like, or what I want my life to be like.
Oh yeah, super, super interesting. Okay, so we're coming to an end of
Yeah.
the interview. Um, so the final question for you. So it's a little bit on the deeper side, right? What do you want to be remembered as? So as you're going through your life or career 5, 10 years from now, you're gonna develop into a different person, right? But when you are on your deathbed, let's say, and you know you're at your final days, your final day, what 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 have you want to left in this life, in this world, and what do you want people to know Cara Sanchez as?
Yeah, okay, that's a little deep. I think for me, I think being sorry, I think being known as a kind person and someone who is able to not really just inspire others, but really help others achieve their dreams and achieve their goals. And it's just really important for me to have a positive impact on people. Like people can just be comfortable to be themselves when I'm hanging out with them and just creating this like really positive environment and this really having a really nice community. I think by that point, a lot of like the specific career goals, like they're not gonna matter so much. But I think the impact that I have on people, I want it to be a positive one. I want that to be lasting.
No, yeah, definitely. I think just the impact that you leave on other people is so important. I think a lot of us, we chase different things like money or different things that really don't matter, but it really is like impacting people in this world. And whether that's your family, whether that's your friends, or just the world in general. If you can leave this world a better place, then that's super important. And like you said, this world really needs more kindness, um,
Yeah.
which is which is super great to hear. But yeah, that's pretty much the podcast. I want to thank you once again so much for hopping on. Yeah, thank you for joining me. 30 minutes.
Yeah, well, thank you so much for having me on. This was really fun.
Awesome, Cara. All right, you take care.
See ya.